Hey everybody, it's Connie. How's everything going? You can't give me feedback, but send me a comment. This is probably 106 video I've done, and I just looked back at that at YouTube and I was shocked. Time flies. So I am looking at you on July 25, 2023, and I'm house sitting. And I want to talk about lifestyles and the opportunities that you have out there and all the different varieties of lifestyles that you could use in your life if you are short of funds or saving for something or not working less, enjoying life more. There's all sorts of reasons why people change their lifestyle and have to have a particular lifestyle. You may have family and lots of responsibility. I'm really talking to the single folk here that are on their own because they don't have to run it past somebody to make a decision. They run it past themselves and their consciences and all sorts of things. So wanted to talk about house sitting and pet sitting because I have 2 dogs here and I just fell into this house sitting from a friend whose daughter needed someone to watch the pups. There's one and 2-year-old mixed, and they're mixed. I'm not really sure what the breeds are. It's all over the map. But I'm watching them and taking care of this lovely home, and that's the upside of house sitting. My gig is for 2 weeks, and it's not a paid thing. You get a beautiful place to stay and lovely environment. And out back, there's about half an acre. It's just gorgeous out here. We're in the northwest outside of Bellevue, north of Bellevue, Washington. And gorgeous weather, July and August. Best months, the only 2 months that are good in the northwest are July and August. That's news. That's real, that's truth. And so 2 dogs, and finding that they really need to be around people. I didn't know that about dogs so much. I mostly have had cats and chinchillas, and but these dogs need to be right there with you, maybe because they were given treats to enforce that, positive enforcement, and yet they just have to be near your feet, and I stumble over them, I fall over them, you know, and so they have no training, they had no guidance, they are out of control, they're like, you know, children, but children I call brats that are out of control and not guided. I know that's harsh words, I know, but I have seen some doozies. And but these guys need guidance. I'm trying to teach them to have boundaries and not to run right in the bathroom and jump right in the tub when you're taking a bath. And not that they've done that, but who knows. And just at your feet all the time, begging or whatever. And they need to have the boundaries. So anyway, but I'm giving them treats and getting fed and watered and all that. You have to love dogs if you're house sitting because that's most of the gigs. Cats are second, I believe, and then comes farm animals and small farms, or maybe it's birds. Yeah, birds and critters, probably birds and critters, then farms. And you rarely get the farm gigs because they don't leave their farms. I mean, they know how important it is for them to be there all the time with all those animals and get everything right. So you'd have to be highly trained to take over a farm like that. That would be in ranch work. If you want to work on a ranch and train on a ranch, you can. You just have to be wily about it and find someone who will train you out there, like as a ranch hand or maybe a manager of a ranch, or even in the kitchen, you know, sous chef, get some food training. But they take people who don't have food training and they'll train them. And then housekeeping, of course, anybody can do that as long as they're trained. But that's huge. There's a huge need always for housekeeping. And yet children, I'd like to work with children on a dude ranch, and I tried this last summer, but the girls that did that job keep coming back. So I'll try again sometime. But they have wonderful programs for children on these dude ranches. So what I was getting to is that there's lifestyles that you can choose. Now, glamping can be part of this house sitting lifestyle. If you have a time, because most house sittings are for 2 weeks to 2 months sometimes, or maybe a week to 3 or 4 months. And so you will have some in-between time when you're transitioning to another house sit perhaps, or maybe there's a dry time and you don't want to forget about converting your car or your SUV into a home. I mean, a mini emergency home. Why not? Mine is, and it's all ready for that, even in a city, and it's got tinted windows and so forth, and shades that I can put up, and it's all ready. It's like a glamping RV that's tiny. It's just really wonderful because I had to look and see all the conveniences that you should have in your glamping RV experience. So I can go out on any of the free BLM lands or the state park free lands, and you just have to talk to your ranger or look it up and you'll find the lands that you can go to. There's also apps where you can find free camping. Just Google that. Or not Google. Don't Google anymore. Don't go to Brave. Go to Brave. Or I heard DuckDuckGo is so. And then there's some other ones. There's even a Russian one. You could try that. Why not? So get a different browser. Don't ever use Google. Google is total CIA surveillance, and so is Facebook, and so is blah, blah, blah. You know the list. We want to get away from surveillance. We want to be free of them. We want to not see them ever again. So you want to always go where you're not surveilled. And then, you know, if you are surveilled, wear a hat and some sunglasses or something, you know. Wear a mask. They're easy to pick up at a party store. Just put on a mask. Not that kind. You know, that kind will cut your oxygen. I'm not talking about that kind. Don't ever cut your oxygen, please. If you're wearing a mask, do you know that the oxygen is needed for your brain, for your growth and your cells to rejuvenate? Are you aware of that? The oxygen is kind of important. Okay. Anyway, they're not watching this film, you can bet. So that's a great lifestyle. And also, if you're saving like I am for a beautiful tiny home, a little bit bigger than one, a yurt, perhaps, I don't know, a glamping tent. I mean, some of them are beautiful and very sturdy. Why can't you live in a glamping tent all your life? I don't see any problem with that, you know. Why do you have to have these stick things with corners and stuff that you have to get cobwebs out of? And I don't know whoever thought of this square thing. I just think it just isn't, is the environment square like this? Did we get this from nature? I don't think so. I've seen a lot of, you know, the Mongolian tents, and they're more round. You know, we're round. People are round. Look, we have these round. We don't have this, you know, we're not, so I don't understand houses that are square. So, but there's some beautiful ones, and I'm in one right now. So there's that. Also, and people make a lifestyle out of house sitting and pet sitting. And then if you like cats, great. You know, people get a little finicky. Remember, you have to go with the finicky. If they say they want their water, the dog's water refreshed every hour, you know, you have to do that. You know, these are what you trade for. So that's a lifestyle. And then you supplement it with camping out on beautiful state park lands. But then the summer, you can't do this in the winter unless you have an RV. Then, of course, you can do anything you want if you have a self-contained RV with all your heater and all your AC and all that stuff. So I used to do a lot of couch surfing, and I have about 70 reviews on couch surfing. And I was also doing workaway, where I was in homes helping out all over the world, New Zealand to Switzerland. I was helping families, and I did that for 7 years. But I've stepped away from couch surfing and workaway because they've changed hands, and they're money grubbing at this point. They are money grubbing. But there are other apps, and Be Welcome was one. Somebody said to go on Facebook and do Host a Sister. But you want to stay away from Facebook. It's another surveillance tool. So we're trying to get away from all that. We want them to go bye-bye. They will pretty soon. I do believe I feel it in the air. So there's that. So you can supplement. This is the summer. Now, when it comes to winter, you have to change things around. You do have to use your SUV car to live in, or your small van. Maybe you've got a van, or you've got whatever you've got. And that's where you stay, and then you do the house sitting gigs here and there, park it out front, that kind of thing. And you can also be a you can watch whole state parks. They'll hire you. This ranger station will hire people for watching state parks. And also private parks as well, or private camping parks. You can put your RV there, or your trailer, whatever you've got. There are so many opportunities. People, there are so many opportunities for lifestyles. You have to look into this. You have to take the time. It's really important. And so I'm planning right now a road trip where I'm going to visit about 3 or 4 different towns, cities, states on the western states, and just talking to people that I met online just to make new friends. So I'm just traveling around. But gas shouldn't go up. It can't go up more than $5 a gallon. Please, please, somebody pray. Because it shouldn't, because the oil is free. You're born on the land, right? Aren't you born on the land? Were you born at sea? Well, maybe you're in Admiralty law. That's in maritime. That's born on the sea. We're born on the land, as far as I remember. And anything that comes from the land, when you're born on the land, is yours. So everything's free. It's just that you're paying for the labor of somebody picking the blueberries and somebody refining the oil. But it's not that expensive to refine oil. It shouldn't be $5 a gallon, folks. This is way off the map. Way off. So somebody's pockets are lined, the banks are lined, but then you look at fiat. What's it worth? 10 cents on the dollar? Is that it? I don't really know what the dollar's worth anymore. I think it's close to 10 cents. So get your metals. That's a side remark. Get your silver, especially silver. That is the most precious of the metals as far as usage, needing it. It's going to be a big need coming up, huge need. And no, if we go back to the land, maybe we won't need it as much. But technically speaking, a huge need and not as much. But lots of gold apparently. But anyway, expect a huge jump. That's what I'm expecting in the silver. Instead of 25 an ounce, 1,000 an ounce. Doesn't that sound wacky? But it's very possible because they've been manipulating it for centuries, decades or centuries. I'm not sure. But I got sidetracked. So that's house sitting, and so I have no duties except I'm keeping the place really clean, and I'm coming and going to my different events and things. I'm going to go to a dance tonight, and then I'm going to go to karaoke another night, and maybe I'm going to visit my brother and sister who are up on an island north of here. And so you're free to do what you want to do, and you free to have, read, write. What do you want to do? Develop ideas for business. It's really great for developing ideas and planning things. And so rarely are you, there are parents that go away on a trip and leave children with you and animals. That's rare, much more rare. I don't even see an app for that, so I think it's rare. They take their children with them. But these ones, I'm going to have to work on them, they're just like off the map, out of control. But beware that that is what you're going to get when you have, even though you have pictures, you have a phone interview with the person you're going to house sit for, pet sit for, you'll have that, and maybe you'll even visit them, maybe they're down the road, but, when you're there, you'll really know. And I found out some things here that I didn't know, but I'm still in a very rare, really good situation right now. It's very good. So that's my information on that house sitting, pet sitting, and I'm outside. It's a gorgeous day, 74 degrees. So I hope you get out in it. I hope you have beautiful weather where you are, or if not, carry your own weather around with your attitude. That's my motto. I mean, forget the weather, positive, because I think really positive things are here now and are coming, even though we hear the other stuff. But who wants to make us afraid, and who wants to make us stressed out, because then our health goes down, blah, blah, blah. So just shut off the negative stuff. Just walk away, because it's all the same. I'm finding it repeats itself over and over again. So go and do something positive, fun, develop your hobbies, be with your children, be with your animals, do what you love, follow your bliss. I like follow your bliss. All right, from Connie, take care.